Ladies and gents, I'm currently on my way to pick up an RTX 4070 Super for $500. He originally had it listed for $550 and I managed to talk him down $50. So that's a pretty good deal considering a 4070 Super used is going anywhere between $550 to $600 right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go over, inspect the card, test it out, and if everything's good, I will snag it for our next build. So sit back and relax, and welcome to another episode of Flip or Flop. Hold up, before we continue flipping PCs, I do want to give huge thanks to VIP or CD Key for sponsoring today's video. Guys, it's 2025, stop paying full price for a Windows key. Just stop it. You can get them dirt cheap at VIP or CDKey.com, where they sell Windows 10 and Windows 11 keys for like $22. Just make sure to use the code TS20 to get that extra discount. Now, after checking out, you have to go into the user center up top, navigate to your orders, and reveal the key so that you can copy and paste this into the activation settings of Windows, and you are good to go. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Nice, you have a tester now?
Awesome, yes. How are you going? Billy.
Alfredo.
So you only had it for 3 months?
Yeah, literally.
Okay. What are you upgrading to?
Honestly, I'm gonna be downgrading. I would only be playing like games like Dark and Darker.
You don't have the original box?
No, I don't.
Okay, cool. Can you hold this so it doesn't blow away? Yeah, it looks good. Took good care of it. That's nice.
A few moments later.
Whoa! There goes my mouse pad. God damn. But yeah, I got signal, man, so you're good. Let me just give you your money. You have any other parts you're trying to sell?
Honestly, I have a CPU and a ZXT 240 millimeter.
Oh, the cooler?
Yeah.
What kind of CPU do you have?
i9 14900K.
How much do you want that for?
I was selling the bundle for like 500 because I know that one sells for like 530, 5 something new, and then the cooler itself is like 100.
Thanks, man. Take care. We scored pretty big, boys. We scored pretty big on a 4070 Super. Only 3 months old, too. This is definitely going to go in a more higher end-ish build. We still have that brand new Z790 motherboard, so I think we might go Intel for that build, but we'll see. Okay, well, that didn't take too long. I'm heading back to the same seller I met the other day who sold me the graphics card because I want to pick up the rest of his parts that he has for sale, which is the CPU and the memory. If you guys remember, he told me that he had a 14900K that he's trying to sell, and he also has a 64 gigabyte kit. Well, he sold 32 gigs of that, which means he has another 32 gigs left over, which is gonna be plenty for this build. So I'm gonna go inspect the CPU and the memory and potentially buy it because he is letting it go for a really good price. We negotiated all the way down to $380 for both the CPU and the 32 gigabyte kit. So I would be silly not to take this offer. Now the risk for this transaction is a lot higher because number one, the processor in itself is expensive. So if there's something wrong with it, I'm pretty much out $350. And number two, it's gonna be a little more difficult to sell. I'm just hoping we can flip it for a good profit. Hey, how's it going, man? And that's the 32 gig kit you have left over? Nice. The guy that was buying the 64 gigs, he didn't want the other 32? He just wanted...
He didn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 14900K. Beautiful. Cool. Yeah, man, I'll take it. Awesome deal. Appreciate it as always. Let me give you the 380 for the CPU and the memory. Thank you. Well, yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for the deal.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries, man. Take care.
Keep in contact.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah. See ya.
Okay, so we got most of our parts for our PC build. All that's left is a power supply, a cooler, and possibly some fans, since the case we're gonna be building inside doesn't have any fans installed. Unfortunately, we are still in a GPU crisis, which will affect the Flip or Flop series entirely. The effect of the NVIDIA cards being out of stock have trickled down to the used market, and as a result, GPU prices on the older cards have gone up. The good news, however, is that the 4070 Super that I bought a few weeks ago has gone up in price as a result. The bad news, however, is that moving forward, it's going to be more difficult buying graphics cards because not only is stock limited, but also everyone that's listing their cards for sale are going to list it for much higher. So I have to be very aggressive in my negotiations moving forward, and that might piss off some people watching these videos. But anyways, let's see if we can find any deals on power supplies. I hate using OfferUp. This is literally one of the worst marketplaces in existence, but you know, once in a blue moon, you do find a pretty good deal. So I usually like to start off looking at OfferUp before I move to Facebook Marketplace. So let's look up power supply. Ideally, I don't want to spend anything more than $50 on a used power supply, and I want to go with at least a 750 watt power supply because I'm throwing in a 14900K processor in there with a 4070 Super. So anything between 700 and 850 watts is gonna be more than plenty for this build. And just like usual, I mean, prices are, oh, actually, here's one for $40. That's actually not bad for a 750 watt, but unfortunately this guy lives pretty far from me. So power supplies are one of the components you definitely don't want to cheap out on, especially when you're buying used, because you have no idea what the condition is. They can say that it's been used for 2 months, when in reality they've been using it for 5 or 10 years. So you don't really know the condition of it. So ultimately, when you're buying a used power supply, you definitely want to buy one from a reputable brand like Corsair or Seasonic or even Thermaltake. And just as I feared, there aren't any good deals on any power supplies. People want like $50 for their 650 watt power supply. That's cutting it really close to the price of a brand new power supply. Like if I go on Amazon and type in 650 watt power supply, you can probably find one for around that same price. There you go, 650 watt power supply, gold certified from Segotep for $50. So I don't understand why people are selling their used power supplies for almost the same cost as a brand new one. If that's the case, I might as well just buy a brand new one. Let's see what we've got in Facebook Marketplace. Yep, it's definitely not looking any better on Facebook Marketplace. So yeah, when it comes down to choosing either buying a used part or a brand new one for a few dollars more, it's just better to buy a brand new product because you get peace of mind knowing that you can return it back if something's wrong, but also you're putting a brand new part into your PC, which also will increase the value of your system. So in this case, I think I'm just gonna spend $10 more and get a brand new power supply. Let's see what we can find for $60. Don't wanna spend more than that. So ideally, I wanna do at least 700 watts. So I think the Thermaltake might be our choice, unless we can find something better. What if we do 750 watt? Oh, here we go. 750 watts, 80 plus white certified, from Montech. So it's a reputable company. They make really good cases and it's got positive reviews. $55. I think this is it. This is the power supply I'll be going with. It sure beats paying 50 or 60 bucks for a used 650 watt power supply. So let's go with this. Okay, what do we got for coolers? CPU cooler. Again, ideally, I don't want to spend anything more than like 60 bucks for a cooler. Since we're going with the 14900K processor and a nice large case, I want to go with an all-in-one cooler. In my experience, all-in-one coolers look nicer in the pictures and they sell faster compared to air coolers. If we were throwing in like a Ryzen 5 or something on the lower end, I would have tossed in like a cheap $20 or $30 air cooler and called it a day. But since we're throwing in some pretty high-end components, I want to go with a nice cooler as well. So let's see what kind of deals we can find. I definitely don't want to spend more than $60 on the cooler. So let's see what we can find. This one's not a bad deal, 50 bucks. But it's not a 360. 360 millimeter coolers are very hard to find on the used market for some reason. I've noticed this. All I see are 240s and air coolers, like that's it. Once in a blue moon, you'll come across a 360 cooler, but then you'll see them wanting like at least $100 for it. Not a single 360 cooler in sight. What is going on with the market? It's nothing but 240s. Look at this. 240s and air coolers, that's all I see on here. I guess that's why PCs with 360 coolers sell a lot faster. Oh, here we go, here's one. $40. Oh, he's only shipping it, so that means he's far away. That's also not gonna match our color scheme because we have a white case, so ideally I would wanna go with a white cooler. Yeah, unfortunately I can't find any coolers on here, so let's switch to Amazon and see what kind of coolers we can find there. Oh wow, we actually have, wait, what? Whoa, these are actually really cheap. You can get a 360 millimeter AIO for $50. Brand new as well. I did not know the prices for coolers have dropped this much. That's actually crazy. I think Thermaltake would be the safe choice, but let's see what else we got here. We got the Aqua Elite. Not sure what brand that is, but yeah, I think just to be on the safe side. Oh, these actually both have the same exact design. Is this the same company? Oh, it's the same company. Okay, we'll go with the Aqua Elite. 360 IO, triple RGB fans. I mean, if coolers are this cheap, why would anyone spend anything more than this on the used market and buy a used cooler? All right, let's add this to our list. Okay, last but not least, we do need some fans to fill up the case. And honestly, at this point, why waste my time searching for used fans on Facebook when I can find brand new ones on Amazon? Probably for a cheap price as well, most likely from Thermaltake. $14 for a set of 3 fans. I can guarantee you, you're not gonna find a deal like this on the used market. Guys, the truth is, no one's gonna waste their time listing fans on Facebook Marketplace, right? Like they have to leave their house, meet up with the person, all to make what, like $20? Unless they're bundling this with like other PC parts, I don't see it being worth it listing it on the used marketplace. So in this instance, it makes sense buying it from Amazon or AliExpress or wherever else you can buy cheap fans from. I think these are honestly the best deal for a triple pack of RGB fans. Oh, these actually look cool too. What are these? Whoa, these actually look really cool, but they're $35. With the 10% coupon, they're gonna drop down by like $5. Still $30 for a triple pack. I'd much rather go with the thermal, right? You get more value here. This is almost like $4 per fan. Let's pick up 2 packs of these. Okay, now you wait for our parts. Well, this is a little awkward. The case actually already has fans. Wow, we actually have 5 fans pre-installed. So I guess I didn't need to buy these. I guess I'm gonna send these back to Amazon so we can put the money that I used to buy these back into the wallet. If I ever need fans in the future, I'll just buy it again. Okay, so we got most of our parts here to begin our build. We got the case, the graphics card, the CPU, the motherboard, cooler, and memory. We are, however, missing one key component, and that is storage. So I went back on Facebook Marketplace to shop around and see if I could find a good deal on a 1TB M.2 SSD, only to be disappointed yet again. Almost everybody is charging like $80 to $100 for a 1TB drive. That is simply just overpriced, and it's not worth it if you're flipping PCs. I was literally able to buy a 1TB Gen 4 NVMe drive for $50 on Amazon. So I did that instead, and it arrived the other day. So now we have all of our components for the build. Here's a huge tip I can give anyone watching that wants to flip PCs for a living or wants to flip PCs on the side. And it's something I've learned over the past 7 episodes. When you're flipping PCs for a profit, it's sometimes inevitable to buy new parts, especially when the price of the new component is so close to the used component. This is usually the case when it comes to power supplies, storage, and coolers. Like for some reason, it's always those 3. I realized after shooting 7 episodes of Flip or Flop that these 3 components are much easier to buy brand new because the stuff that the sellers are posting usually have a higher MSRP. And with high MSRP, means higher listing prices. Let me give you guys an example. So let's say someone bought a Corsair 360 cooler that goes for $200 brand new on Amazon, and they plan to sell it a year later. Well, they're not gonna sell it for $50. That is outrageous. They would probably try and sell it for $150 instead. You know, which is a great deal, don't get me wrong, but that price is way too high for flippers because there's no profit margin left. It's great for anyone looking to buy that cooler for themselves and build themselves a PC, but it's not great for flippers. Why buy the Corsair cooler for $150 when I can get a brand new 360 AIO for $50? One thing you guys have to realize and accept is that most people buying used PCs don't know much about the PC market. So like name brands like Corsair or Lee have very little meaning to them. Like a 360mm AIO is just a 360mm AIO to them. For example, if I was in the market to buy a system and I don't know anything about PCs and I see this really cool PC with a 360 AIO in there, I would think, oh wow, that's a nice cooler. It's got 3 fans, it's got RGB, you know what, that's good enough for me. Most of the time, they don't care if it's Corsair or Asus or Lee. The same thing can be said about storage device. Like why would anyone pay $100 for a 1TB Samsung drive when they can get one for half the price? I mean, sure, the speeds are slightly slower than Samsung, but most people don't care or they don't know enough to realize it. So a 1TB M.2 SSD is a storage device with 1TB of space for them. Same exact thing with the power supply. Oh, you got 750 watts in that PC? That's a high number. I'll take it. The sooner you guys start thinking like a flipper, the sooner you can start making money. But yeah, that's enough jibber jabber. That is your tip of the day. Let's put this PC together. All right, let's see how much money we can make off this PC. I'm feeling really, really good about this one. I mean, the PC itself looks absolutely stunning. The case itself is really gonna help us sell this PC. So first things first, let's deduct $22 for the Windows key that I had to buy and activate, plus another $40 for the cable extension. So $30 are from the usual set that I use, plus $10 for the 12VH power cable extension for the GPU. It was only $10, and plus it just looks so much nicer compared to the ugly black cable adapter that these GPUs come with. So yeah, overall I have spent $1,288, which is definitely the most I've spent. I think it's the most I've spent on the entire Flip or Flop series. So when you're flipping PCs that cost over $1,000, there's definitely more risk involved because it's more difficult finding a buyer. You know, if somebody has $1,500 to buy a used PC, they're most likely gonna buy a brand new one from a pre-built company. But yeah, the risk I'm taking here hopefully will translate into a big payoff. So as it stands today, this PC is valued at $1,850. That's including all new parts, including the graphics card. I spent $1,288, so if I wanna make my minimum 20% profit, I have to sell this PC for a minimum of $1,545. That is much less compared to the actual value of the PC, and considering we're using mostly new parts, really the only thing used is the graphics card, the CPU, and the RAM, which is all from the same seller, and they've only been used for a few months. So I think we can price this a little higher. I think $1,700 is more than fair for this PC, considering the majority of the parts are brand new. It's also $150 less than the current retail price. Also, there's no tax involved, so whoever is buying this is not gonna pay tax, so they can save money there. But yeah, let's start at $1,700. I'll be patient. I'm not going to list anything on Java just yet. I'm going to see if I can find any local buyers to pick this up instead of having to ship it. Okay, yeah, so let's go to list this on Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp and pray for the best. Okay, so it's officially been 2 days since I've listed the PC on the Facebook Marketplace, and since then it has received 846 clicks. So it's about 440 plus clicks per day, which means there's a lot of interest in the system. I did get a few messages, one of which wanted to offer me 1.2 for the system, which is an absolute slap to the face, but hey, I can't hate the player, you gotta hate the game, right? You're selling on the used market, so you're gonna get some people who are doing some pretty disrespectful lowball offers. Like even I don't go that low, but it's the name of the game. What can you do? And then you have someone that wants to trade a PS5 plus a little bit of cash on top. Why would I downgrade to a console? Anyways, moving on. I did find two potential buyers, one of which said that he's very interested in it and that he's currently working on getting the money. I'm not even kidding you. This is his last message. Okay, perfect. I'll let you know when I get the money. This could be in a few days. This could be in a few weeks. This could be next year for all I know. So I guess we'll just sit tight and wait and see. The second potential buyer is actually more promising. He says he lives in Valencia and he has the cash on hand and he can swing by whenever. This was yesterday, by the way. So I told him, you know what? I'm free all day. Let me know if you want to meet sooner. First come, first serve. And this is what he responded with. I'm an Eagles fan, so I'll be watching this game. This was yesterday, Sunday, which was apparently the Super Bowl. And since then, he hasn't messaged me back. And it's already 3:06 p.m. on a Monday. So I'm gonna hit him up, see if he wants to buy the PC. And if I can't get anybody to come by and pick up the PC today, I'm gonna list it on Java. Hey, how was the game? Did your team win? LOL. Let me know if you are still interested in buying this PC because I'm going to put it up on Java today. After 10 days and 3,000 clicks per week on my Facebook listing, I finally found a potential buyer, you guys. Unfortunately, I had to lower the price by $50 because I couldn't find the buyer, but this guy is agreeing to pay me $1,650 for this PC. The only thing is he lives in Burbank and he's currently at work, so I am more than happy to drive the PC over to him, which is a 25-minute drive, for him to inspect it in person and potentially buy it. So yeah, I'm actually very, very excited, you guys. Hopefully this long wait is gonna be worth it. So which one's your unit? You want to take it inside or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's upstairs.
Cool, here's the boxes for all the other stuff, so I'll bring this with it. What's the specs on this one? Horrible?
3080 and I don't know, I forgot what it's a Ryzen something. I forgot what the Ryzen is.
Hey, it gets the job done, right? For work. Awesome, got it, yeah, perfect. This is the box for the original stuff, if you want it. Some extra cables in here, the power cables in here as well. So I gotta ask, what made you interested in this PC specifically? Was it the price or was it the aesthetics? Like what is it?
Both.
Is it both? Okay. What was the main thing that drew you to the listing?
Looked very clean, to be honest.
Okay.
Looked very nice and it looked like someone that took care of the PC and I needed that, to be honest.
Okay, nice. Is that the specs you're looking for? 1400K with the 47?
Yeah, I was actually looking for 4070 Ti Super or 4080 or something like that.
Okay.
But, like, because we need two computers. I was trying to get two.
Okay, but the budget was exactly where
It was like
what were you looking for?
1500 to 2000 as well.
Okay,
how
sweet.
much I would want to spend on this.
Okay.
Like for now.
I gotta ask you, what do you think about the cooler? Did you see the cooler for the
That
CPU?
was nice. That was nice.
So you thought it was cool. How much do you think that?
attracted to me?
That attracted you? Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. See, I told you guys. Put a 360 millimeter cooler in your system and it will attract buyers. Exactly, so awesome, cool. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it, take care. Okay, so 1650 was the final sale price of the PC. I've spent $1,288 of my own money into the system, which means I have profited $362, which means this was a successful flip. Unfortunately, it took 10 days, but it is to be expected when you're selling anything over $1,000. A lot of people just don't have that kind of money laying around to buy a used PC, so it's gonna take a bit longer to find a buyer. Now, if I was doing this more seriously, I would be constantly buying and flipping PCs in between instead of waiting for one to sell before I jump on the next one. You always wanna move inventory consistently. Like if I can flip 2 PCs a week, that'll be a pretty nice side gig. Let's say, for example, I average $250 profit on each PC I sell. 2 PCs a week, that's $500 a week or $2,000 a month, which is not bad. Okay, let's go and update my daughter's savings account on the screen to reflect our wallet. We do have actually a few parts left over in our inventory that we can use for our next build. And I just wanna say real quickly, guys, I do appreciate everyone tuning in and leaving likes and comments down below in the video because it really gives me motivation to continue these series. Like this is by far the hardest to shoot on the channel. It takes the longest, and the fact that I can see that you guys are enjoying the videos, it makes me want to continue doing them. The moment the likes and the comments and the views drop on these series, that will be the end of Flip or Flop. But anyways, thank you guys so much again for your support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.